Hello, and welcome to Lore Overview of Children of the Beast. I am your host. I'm Nicholas Kitts. I'm the creator of the game, and just gonna dive into various aspects of the lore. Um, and we're going to start off with a basic overview of the Warrens themselves, the general world. Um, so, at its most basic, the Warrens are what we call uh, a constantly shifting, evolving landscape. It's almost like a living creature that is constantly adapting to those on and within it. Canyons can close up and move like 40 miles over. Mountains can suddenly become swamps. There are various like basically nothing stable within the Warrens, and that's actually one of the things that humanity tries to it tries to have is some form of stability. As stability is the main way you develop culture in society. If you can't record knowledge, uh, if you can't develop agriculture, you're going to have to be worrying about your meal day to day, and as a result, you're not going to get much beyond a very basic hunter-gatherer society. And so, the goals of humanity are to have that stability to make them develop as a people. Um, now, the Warrens themselves are a very strange place. It's not just like canyons or whatnot. It is a place uh, of a vast biological weirdness. So we have places like the Glass Forest, which has trees that develop this kind of fluid throughout them that sometimes spreads as bioluminescent spores throughout the forest. Lights up the place real good. But the spores are actually also used as like a form of communication. If you can somehow manipulate the spores, you can also find a way to communicate to the trees around you. The fluid itself that glows within the trees is actually used as a defense mechanism, so that if a particularly precious tree or a piece of the grand tree is destroyed or cut, the fluid will leak all over them and mark them to be devoured by the roots. Or and yeah, weird stuff. We also, I think we have this on the campaign page, but we have like creatures that's like these strange hive mind of worms that devour the corpses within the world, eating their memories, and are almost like a living repository of the world's dead. Um, and all sorts of weird stuff. It tends to be like I said, biological in nature, but that doesn't mean that crazy stuff doesn't happen. It's supposed to be a world where you have fun exploring, seeing what you can find, and seeing how you can take advantage of that stuff you find. Um, and yeah, that's uh, that's really the basics of the Warrens. Um, there are a couple other things I could talk about, such as like the stench of the Warrens, in the sense that you're as you explore, you're going to be you can carry a certain amount of food with you uh, to avoid having to eat Lord Root, which is part of another video. Watch the video on Lord Root if you want to learn more about eating and uh, addiction. Um, but food rots particularly quickly, as the Warrens are a very alive place. There are all sorts of wild creatures here, and stuff develops and evolves at a very rapid pace. And if the creatures are big and powerful, the bacteria are certainly well, they're powerful. Maybe not big, but um, and so, the more wild the area that you're diving into, the more your food even begins to rot away from your from your inventory. Um, but yeah, it 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 the Warrens are almost like a living creature. I might have said that before, and it can sometimes be helpful to think of it as one. Um, but the actual structure of the Warrens is something that is largely uh, discovered, forgotten, and discovered again by humanity, and it's something that you kind of find out along your journeys. So, in one of these spoiler videos, I'm going to go into the structure of the world and how exactly it works. Um, but one of the last things I can say is that the world is technically shrouded in darkness. In the particular area you're in, it is lit only by the crawling moon, a mysterious entity that literally crawls across the sky and lights up the world below. Um, Light in general is a very not necessarily a precious resource. It's pretty common, especially with the crawling moon. But if something provides light, it is usually a cooperative creature in a sense. It is some sort of thing that benefits from others benefiting from their light, and so light is often viewed as often a friendly thing. Um, uh, of course, some monsters abuse that. We have like a stretch goal creature that we may or may not reach called the Fireblight Drake that develops a bioluminescent acid within their stomach and uses that to its advantage to hunt over trusting prey. But but yeah, um, that is the basic overview of the Warrens. I I really wish I was doing these as live streams so I could answer questions, but don't be afraid to shoot me a message or something, or join our Discord. We have a Discord. Uh, all right. Talk to you later.